The Hispanic vote holds a very important position on this year's elections. We sat down with Alci Maldonado, the chairman of the Republican National Hispanic Association, who gave us an insight into what the Republican Party is planning to gain that Hispanic vote. As chairman of the Republican National Hispanic Assembly, could you explain us in detail what this committee does?
Our purpose is, number one, to bring to the Hispanic community in the United States of America the knowledge about the Republican Party. I always like to quote President Reagan, who said Hispanics are Republican, they just don't know it. So our mission is to let the Hispanic community know what we're about. Our values are very much the Hispanic values from all our countries. So therefore, that's one of our missions. Another mission is to vet candidates for office. Perfect example, the chapter from the state of Florida has our rising star Marco Rubio. His genesis was at the Republican National Hispanic Assembly when he was a student like you.
Talking about Marco Rubio, I know it was some sort of disappointment to the Hispanic population that Romney didn't choose him as his running mate. What would you have to say in that?
Most of the Hispanics that we have in the state of Florida were not disappointed. They were happy because they said, oh no, we want to keep Marco at home for a while. We want to keep him in the Senate so he can carry on what we need to have. So the majority in Florida said, we're glad. We want Marco at home.
Many Hispanics consider the Republican stance in immigration unreasonable.
They're being misinformed. Very simple, misinformation. When it comes to immigration, we are for legal immigration. We like to abide by the law, but by the same token, we want to do everything we can to make sure that the immigrants, not only Hispanics, people forget there's people from Iraq even trying to get in our border, to make sure that we're protected and that we at the same time that we give a home to the people who need it and want the freedom that our country has to give.
A survey conducted in July by the political research firm Latino Decision showed that 70% of Hispanic voters intend to vote for Obama, and only 22% expressed support for Romney. What is keeping them from voting for Romney?
Okay, number one, we're very emotional people. So there's a lot of emotion involved, which they were promised, but we don't know if they're going to, because what we're hearing from our side is that they're not liking Obama very much. So, therefore, emotion. Oh, he was going to deliver and he was going to give and he hasn't. We will gain a lot of the Hispanics. It will be a surprise to the Democrats. President Obama, by the way, doesn't have any experience in international, by the way. He doesn't. He didn't. Governor Romney has. So when it comes to education, Governor Romney, again, he is going to fix the economy. No doubt about it. Paul Ryan, he's an expert on the economy. So if we start with that, then it will expand where the children can come in, immigration will get better, it will deliver.
We also touched on the fact that the Democratic Party seems to have more support from women and on Ann Romney's role in these elections.
She has the values that most women, Democrat, Republican, Independent, we're all women. So at the end of the day, when they look at Ann Romney, we see ourselves. When you look at the Republican Party, we have more women in office than the Democrat, and more Hispanic elected officials in the Republican Party than the Democrat.
If you could whisper in Mitt Romney's ear, what election or campaign advice would you give him?
I would give him this advice. I would give him, get more emotional with the Hispanics so we can engage, so we can see your other side. I would also tell him to explain his plans on the economy in a more simple way.
Reporting live from the Republican National Convention for the Lynn University iPulse, I'm Patricia Lammle.